Hi, howdy. I chose an article by a study that was called Interplay Among Parent Stress and Non-Parental Childcare and Low Economic Status. It was done in 2022 by Dorr, Pertel, Chin, and Justice. And it took a look at, it had mothers that they were eligible for the study if they were either pregnant or had an infant under 3 months old. And then again, they took a look at them when the infants were 4 to 7 months old. They had to be committed to be in the United States for the next 5 years. They had to be 18 years old or older, and they had to have an economic need. Um, there was 100 mother-child relationships, dyads in this study, 0 to 24 months, and the mothers had to be WIC qualified. For the study, the procedures were the mothers were provided diapers, wipes, some small monetary gift cards, and each mother received a children's literature book. The average age of the mothers involved in this study were 28 years old. It was collected by three uh, checkpoints. So the first checkpoint, the infants were 9 to 12 months old. It was done in home. The child, the infant was actually studied, and it was a 90-minute home visit looking at the language development. The second checkpoint was between 15 and 19 months. It was a 30-minute meeting. It could be in the home or it could be a neutral site. It was really interviewing the mother only. The child did not have to be with the mother. And it looked at questioning the parent's stress level, the economic hardship, and the time that their child was spending in non-parental child care. And those different types of non-parental child care discussed were in a child care facility, in a private home, or with another family member watching the child. And then the third checkpoint was at 24 to 24 months. It again was in the home with the infant or toddler. It was another 90-minute visit, and it was looking at the child's language skills. It used the Bailey Infant Scales of Development, the third um, the third version of that, and it was looking at receptive language and expressive language, vocabulary, and they were looking for in that from the first time they had done the language to the second time they met the third checkpoint of gains in the child's language development. Um, there were some demographic control variables there. Um, they were these variables were looked at when the mothers enrolled in the study. They had to be pregnant mothers. They had to have those infants. They they were looking at the mother's race at the time, the mother's education, and the marital status, and factors that would go into the parent stress. The measures that they were looking at were the parenting stress at the time, their economic hardship, and the time that the child was spent in non-parental child care during a week. And again, it could be a child care center, a private child care, or another family member watching the child. Um, it was collected by those three checkpoints, and then the results showed that there was not any direct correlation between being economically disadvantaged and language development, but more so was with the parent's stress and the non-parental child care. It seemed to suggest that if the parent stress level was really high, then a higher number of weekly hours in a non-parental child care situation was actually beneficial than if a parenting stress level was really high, but they spent fewer hours in the non-parental childcare environment. So some of the factors that they resulted in coming up with is that there could be programs offered to economically disadvantaged moms or parents that had high stress levels, as well as providing some childcare um, availability centers that parents, moms that were in um, low economic, high stress environments would be able to have their children have access to. My feelings on this, again, as a teacher, it immediately took me back to looking at the kids I have now that are all COVID children, and thinking that the stress level for many people were high. And then if you were in a low economic situation, the child care centers were closed, and we are really, really noticing some lower language scores for the kids that we have right now. So immediately it made me think that uh, that offering uh, parental programs to help with their stress levels, as well as trying to find opportunities that moms or parents that are in these stressful economic situations, life situations, that they have somewhere that they can put their child and try to help increase that language development. All right. Thanks for listening.